What is going on, guys? Welcome back to The People's Build, where you decide every little detail about this bike. From the powder coat, paint, fenders, everything is up to you. My name is David, and welcome to Z's Garage. So last week 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, we asked the question, or I asked the question, do we go monoshock or do we go dual shock? And the people have spoken and said we are going dual shock, which actually, honestly, really surprised me. I thought for sure we were going monoshock. I was already planning on ordering parts. Luckily, I didn't order a ton of stuff, but I'm a little surprised. So I'm actually really excited. I think dual shock's gonna look really good. What we did do is we cut a lot of the frame up already, and we have to reattach the angle bar that goes onto the seat. And then after that, we have to mount new hardware for the shocks. So let's straighten out some of these cuts that I did a little wonky cuts on. So. Okay, I love having this 3D printer because it allows me to do so much mock-up without cutting any steel. This right here is our shock mount. It comes in 2 pieces. This is the way I designed it. It is 1-inch round hole with a slight angle. It's just gonna go directly onto the frame. I'll weld both sides, and then I will lathe this out of steel, 1-inch round bar, and then it will slide right in, and I will weld both sides. The the shock mount will go right here, and then this will thread, tightening down the shock. So I have to make this part next, and I have some 3/8 inch steel right here. So we're going to draw this on here and then cut it out. So let's cut some steel. Okay, so I cut this out of 3/8 inch steel, and I don't think I'm a fan of it. I think it looks kind of goofy on the bike, kind of takes away the slender look of the original shock mount. I think the actual original shock mount was pretty good, but we had to cut it all away. And I wanted to do something a little different. So this was the first design. I don't think it looks good, so I came up with this design. Now, I think this is more of the original look of the shock, and it's a little more sleek. This extends out 2 inches, and then this extends out 2.5 inches, so this will be right on top of the hoop or underneath it, and then this will be the 55-degree angle. So we're gonna mock this up and we're gonna cut it out of 3/8 inch steel, and we're gonna see how it turns out. So let's cut some more metal. Okay, really happy with the design. I think it looks way more OEM, and then also structurally it's gonna be very, very strong. Next up, we're actually gonna be heading to Sonic Moto in Oakland. My buddy, the owner, Todd, makes like really cool custom motorcycles, has been around the block for quite some time. He's gonna help us lathe our shock mount, because I don't have the tool to do that. And then also, we're going to hole saw, cut, whatever you want to call it, the frame piece and cut our angle into it so then we can weld it onto the frame. So let's head over there. Okay, so we got almost everything done with our shock mount, the attachment piece. We ended up going with a little bit different design. We ended up going with this instead of having a nipple on the end of this, we decided to drill it out and tap it. A lot of Triumphs, at least this is what Todd told me, a lot of Triumphs use this type of shock mount. You just put a washer on it and then you put your shock on, then the washer, and then you just tighten it down. We also ended up going with this design. Now, Todd was saying that I should go back more to the OEM style with a piece of sheet metal, make it a U shape, cut a hole into it, and then you'll have 2 welding points for this. And he thinks it's a lot stronger, which I agree with him. I totally trust him. He's been building motorcycles for a very long time. Now, he did say this would be perfectly fine with this design and it'd be very, very strong. But he said the issue might be the penetrating power of the weld. Now the hoop, this right here, is 14 gauge, where this is 3/8 inch steel. So setting my welder to, to weld to 14 gauge, I'm not gonna be able to get as much penetrating power on this. So, which is okay, which is totally fine. So we're gonna still use this design. I think I really like it, and it's gonna be plenty strong for shocks, and we won't have any issues. So let's get this all together. Let's do some tack welding, and then we're not gonna weld everything until towards the before powder coating, essentially. And yeah, let's get on to the next project. So let's weld this up. Well, I really like the way this turned out. And overall, it wasn't very difficult to do. I mean, I was able to cut the 3/8 with a grind wheel and a Sawzall, and was able to clean it up with a wheel, a grind disc wheel. And then for this actual shock mount, if you don't have a lathe, there are ways around it. You can send it to Send Cut Send, design it in AutoFusion 360 or CAD or whatever it is, and then send it to them and they can cut it out for you with CNC. So there are plenty of options on how to make your own shock mounts. There's other websites that sell shock mounts to you. It just depends on how you want to tackle it. So overall, really happy with the design. The strength is definitely going to be there. It is very strong and robust, and I'm really stoked about it. Next up, there is really no question for you guys to answer on how we're going to handle the bike next, because we're working on the triple trees. We're going to be carbon forging some triple trees, and I'm really excited to see if carbon forging is a viable option for a set of triple trees. So please stay tuned for that, because I'm already working on it right now. So hope you guys enjoy the videos, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.